What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggle's TV Daily Rewind. It's where we go back a week, give you all your favorite tech news stories in one single video. And this one was chock full of information from Galaxy Z Fold 3 having a smaller display, the main display being smaller, and the outside display possibly being smaller. We also have information on the Galaxy S21 series of phones dropping massively in price. But beyond that, we also have information on what the S21 Fan Edition is going to look like. Remember, that's a like mid-tier / high-tier phone. And we also have information on Samsung's iTest, which is a way for them to draw in iPhone fans and so much more. Check out this week. Interesting for sure. We'll see you in the next one. Let's start off with the first story, a sad story. And you knew this was coming if you've been following the channel. I've talked about it a little bit off and on, and it's about LG and smartphones. LG is exiting the smartphone business after a decade of failure with 23 consecutive money-losing quarters due to their LG mobile division. So if you are an LG phone fan, I've had LG phones on my channel in the past, and they're okay. I mean, the last one I did was the Wing, which was maybe a month ago at this point, and a weird phone. So like they were getting to that point where they were starting to do some weird stuff, which, to be honest with you, I'm into the weird stuff. I like companies pushing the envelope, you know, just the regular, you can probably hear my son screaming, just using a traditional candy bar phone was getting a little boring. And it is a little bit boring. That's why I like the foldable phone so much. But I mean, these are the tried and true way of doing it. And LG had candy bar phones, but they also had, again, those kind of weird phones like the LG Wing, but no more, no rollable phones, nothing. LG's completely out of the game. So you're left with a bunch of other companies still. But the way I look at this, it kind of feels like we're going to get to a point where it's like, we have Coke and Pepsi, and that's all you basically have. And then you have all these really tiny mom and pop soda businesses, because Coke and Pepsi, for instance, own everything. I think we're going to get to a point, at least in America, where it's really probably only going to be Samsung and Apple, and that's it. Nothing else pretty much, but I mean, it's just my guess. Next up is all about the OnePlus 9 and 9 Pro. There's another update. We talked about the other update last week that came out. There's another update coming out for this phone, 105 megs in total, and it fixes a bunch of things. You can see the system improved the power consumption performance to extend the battery life, fixed known issues and improved system stability. The camera, it improved the shooting and recording experience. And under the network settings, it improved the stability of telecommunication functions, improved the WLAN transmission performance and stability. This should be rolling out now or in the next couple days. So if you have a OnePlus 9 or 9 Pro, let me check. I didn't even check. Oh, my phone's dead. I have to charge it. But yeah, if you have this phone, check for the update, see if you got it. Last story of the day is about the S Pen. Who doesn't love the S Pen for their Galaxy phone? Because if you didn't know, there's an app in there called Pen Up, and it allows you to like draw and color and do all kinds of cool stuff. And there's a big time update for that, and it's layers, and it's going to allow you to go in there and add layers to your drawings, and so that, you know, if you mess up or you want to add another layer to maybe make your drawing that much more sophisticated, you're now going to be able to. You should be able to update this app now and get that feature with the Pen Up app. So there you go, Pen Up now with layers. First story of the day is about the Pixel 4a 5G and the regular Pixel 5. There was an update that's just been pushed out, and it is a pretty nice update. Check out this headline. This says Pixel 5 and 4a 5G get stunning performance boost, and it looks like they're getting this information from Andreas Prashowski, who says, turns out the April update for the Pixel 5 and 4a 5G is a much bigger deal than expected. You might already have seen that Google touts performance optimization for certain graphics intensive apps and games. This led me to redo some benchmarks, and the results are pretty stunning. Turns out the Pixel 5 is now getting way better results in 3D Mark, like in the 30 to 50% better compared to a P5, which is a Pixel 5, with March patch level. Even the results in general benchmarks like PC Mark work are a bit better, even though in the case only just a bit. And ultimately, is it a performance update or fixes a bug? I don't know. I'll be honest, when I was using the phones and whatever I did, they performed pretty well. I didn't have the 4A 5G, but I had the 4A and the 5, and the 5, again, ran pretty well. I wasn't a big gamer on there, but if you have those phones, definitely get that update, and you should see some much better gaming performance at the very least, or even slightly better. Last story of the day is all about the Galaxy Z Fold 3. Now, I did an interview with Ross Young maybe a couple of months ago, and we talked about the size of the phone. The size of the display was supposed to be in the like 7.5, 7.6 inch on that big display, and then on the outside, you're looking at 6.21 inches, and that's kind of what we've been living by for the last couple of months or so. Well, there's a new story going around right now, and this tweet comes from Chun, who's got a good track record. And in this tweet, he lists off a little document that shows off the screen sizes of a bunch of phones from Xiaomi and Vivo and Oppo and Huawei and Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 and Fold 3. Let's check out that Fold 3. So he's saying the inside display is going to be 7.7 inches, which kind of goes with what we've been hearing on here. I've heard slightly smaller than what we get now with the Z Fold 2, which, again, I would love it to be bigger, a little bit bigger even. And that the outside display would be 5.4 inches, which is a drastic change, especially when you compare it to 6.23 inches. So you're looking at 7.6 currently on the Z Fold 2, 6.23 on the outside display, and then that would be 7.7 on the Z Fold 3 for that inside display, which is slightly larger, and 5.4 inches, which again, a lot smaller for that. But I want to throw in this as well, because Ross Young, who the guy interviewed and who's inside, he's really the inside baseball guy with displays, he tweeted saying, we show no LTPO panels from SDC to Oppo, Vivo, or Xiaomi for foldables in 2021. We also show Oppo cover display as much larger since infolding is not a clamshell. Z Fold 2 cover is measuring at 1.83 inches and the main display at 6.7 inches. He's saying the Z Fold 3 should have an outside or inside display of 7.55 inches, which differs from the 7.7 that Chun is saying, and then the outside display would be 6.21 inches, again, which differs from what Chun is saying at 5.4 inches. And those measurements that he's given for the Z Fold 3, Ross Young, are very similar to what we get with the Z Fold 2. So at this point, I'm gonna have to go with that this story that Chun's putting us probably incorrect, and that, you know, Ross Young has such a good track record, especially because this is his bread and butter, his displays. So I'm gonna have to say that it's probably gonna still be on the Z Fold 3, the 7.55 inch inner display, and then 6.21 outer display. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is a deal if you get the Galaxy S21, S21 Plus, or the S21 Ultra. You get some free gifts. So if you get the S21, you get $20 in instant credit to use on the Samsung store. If you get the S21 Plus, you get $150 in credits to get something like headphones or whatever else. Or if you get the S21 Ultra, which is the phone I have and I absolutely love, it's a great phone, you get up to $200 in credits to use immediately on accessories. You get like the Galaxy Buds Pro with a case, or the battery, or reduced money off of a watch or a tablet or something else. So check it out. It's a really nice little offer going on right now. Last story of the day is about the Galaxy S21 series of phones, the S21, 21 Plus, and S21 Ultra. And I saw the article on Reddit, and it looks like CNET wrote it, and it's false. Like, it's false. Check this out. So Samsung Galaxy S21 phones have lost their value since January. Study says half their value. I missed that major word in the half their value. And if you skim the first paragraph, you can go in there. It says that, again, they lost half their value, if not more than that. And right off the bat, the first incorrect thing I see in here is this means that while the S21 5G goes for $999 new, wrong, $799 new. What are you talking about? First of all, that's wrong. And then 50% off in terms of, you know, if you bought it, I guess used, is incorrect as well. I went to Swappa, and these are the most recently sold phones on here, and you can look at the dates they were sold, and check this out. Or maybe it doesn't show the date. Click in there. Yeah, it does show the dates. April 7th, April 6th. So these are 128 gig Galaxy S21s. They sold for anywhere between $560, which is way more than half of the $799 price, or as much as $670. Again, way more than 50%. So that article is wrong right there. So I had to look at these ones on the T-Mobile side, because the unlocked side of the S21 Plus, there wasn't any for sale or sold recently. So on here, an S21 Plus goes for $999 brand new. But let's look at this. $545 and $620. So really gonna go with Mint, because Mint obviously is gonna garner the highest value. $620 is definitely more than half of $999. Next, let's look at the Galaxy S21 Ultra. And we've got some new mixed with used ones. And this one's $1199 new, but they're saying it's like 47% of its value right now, which doesn't look like it to me, because they sold a good one for $850. A Mint one sold for $923. Doesn't look like it's going for half the price. So the article is completely wrong. That's why, kids, no matter what you're doing, if you're reading an article, do a little research, and a lot of this stuff is just fabricated BS. You really got to read between the lines. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is a website that Samsung created for Apple users to test drive a Samsung/Android phone to hopefully get people to switch over. And ultimately the website is in New Zealand, but you can test it from anywhere, and I did it. And it's pretty actually unique and kind of cool to give Android a slight kind of test drive. Ultimately, you end up, once you end up setting everything up, you can create a shortcut, and you can always go to the shortcut. Like I can tap it right now and I'm in Android, and it simulates basically everything in here. So I can look at, the Galaxy Store, the gallery, the Galaxy wearable app, come in here, and it looks and kind of feels, and it even gives you the sound effects that you would get with a Galaxy phone. It shows you the notifications that you would get. It's pretty interesting. You come in here and you can tap on something to see a video on it. It was super loud. Look through the store, like I said, hit the home button. Recent apps button doesn't really work, just tells you kind of what it does. Back
now,
button.
the first thing that you need to know
back
is that there's
button.
nothing that you need to
Some
know
guy's
to take
just
great
talking
shots.
about.
You just point and shoot.
Mute that.
See that little blue icon?
He's talking. Anyways, you can kind of simulate that whole experience. It's pretty unique. You can even change themes. So right now I have this theme on. I'm gonna hit apply, and it'll change over to this theme, just like you would on any other Galaxy phone. And the whole process, again, is pretty freaking cool overall. Go into your messages app. Even when you theme that out, that changes as well, and you can type on the keyboard, which ends up being the Apple keyboard. But still, I mean, it's a unique thing, and I guess it's a good way to see if your friends and family would want to use it. It is a New Zealand website, but again, you can totally use it from anywhere in the world, and it's a good little, even shows you some of the home screens. I don't know if you can swipe up to see all the rest of your apps as well. So it's cool. It's a cool little thing. So check it out. I'll put the link down below if you want to check it out. If you have an iPhone, you can definitely give it a test drive. When you're done, just swipe up. It's literally just a website that simulates the Galaxy experience. That's pretty much it. Pretty slow news day. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day. Really nice deal on some Galaxy Buds Pro, my favorite true wireless buds at the moment. And usually they're $200, right? Sometimes you can get a little bit less if you go them from Samsung with a little bit of trade-in. But this is a nice little deal if you're looking to buy two. That's right, 1, 2. And you have to get it from Verizon, but this is what you do. You add 2 of any color you want of the Galaxy Buds Pro directly from Verizon's website, and you don't even have to be a Verizon customer. And what happens is, as you can see, it takes $75 off, again, the price of 2. So you'll get 2 for the price of $324.98 plus tax if there's tax where you live. But ultimately, you save $75 total off the cost of 2. Very nice deal. So maybe you're looking for a pair for you and your wife, or you and your son or daughter, or your son and your daughter, your 2 sons or your 2 daughters, or who knows, just 2 pairs that you want there. Very nice little deal for some great wireless buds. Link down below. Next up is about Apple's iMessage service, or app, or whatever you want to call it. As you know, it's not on Android. There's been rumors throughout the years like, oh, it might come to Android. It is coming to Android. Do you want to know why? This is legit. This is real reasons why iMessage is not coming to Android, and it shouldn't surprise you one single bit. Now, this is coming from a deposition because Apple is getting is in a legal squabble with Epic Games, who owns Fortnite, and ultimately they said the lack of, and obviously iMessage, it doesn't really have much to do with Fortnite, but it still came out, and it says the lack of unified messaging experience outside of Apple's ecosystem is a significant obstacle to leaving it, Craig Federighi said. And he wasted no breath acknowledging like that's a problem Apple intends to even feign interest in, let alone solve it. Meaning that when you break that, statement down, that the reason they're not going to move iMessage over to Android is because people are scared to leave iMessage when they're in that Apple ecosystem, because they want that, world of blue messages and, sending messages throughout any Wi-Fi or LTE, 5G, or wherever network that you're on. Now, obviously there's alternatives like Facebook Messenger and Viber and Signal and apps like that, but a lot of people don't want to download an app. They'd rather just have it built right into their phone. So this makes sense why people are kind of scared to leave Apple, and Apple's not willing to put it on Android. Last story of the day has to do with Samsung foldable phones. And if you didn't see my video this morning, look what's back. Guess who's back? Back again. My Galaxy Z Fold 2's back. Tell a friend. Let's get into this last story about foldable phones for Samsung. There's been rumors that Samsung might come out with basically like a double folding phone, and it might come out later this year. Looks like we've got information on that. And then there's also been rumors floating around sometimes there's going to be like a Galaxy Fold Lite, a cheaper version of this phone, but maybe not as intense with the specs and things like that. Check this out. This is coming from Sam Mobile. Sam Mobile is saying Samsung isn't shaking up its foldable lineup at all this year, and that the only two foldable phones that we will see this year will be the Galaxy Z Flip 2 and the Galaxy Z Fold 3. So we shouldn't be seeing a dual folding Galaxy phone like that crazy one this year, and we shouldn't see a foldable Lite or any other foldables as well. Just the Fold 2, the Flip 2 I should say, and the Galaxy Fold 3. I'm not heartbroken, to be honest with you. I mean, I love foldable phones, don't get me wrong. I would love something that's even bigger than this, but just to get a Fold 3 gets me all excited, real excited. But yeah, not the end of the world, but something to know. First story is a new product coming out from Google, and it's a first look at it. And it comes from John Prosser. If you want to watch the entire video, I'll link it down below. It's a good watch. It gives you a lot of information about the Pixel Watch, but let's check this out right now. So look at this thing. This thing is, I think, really good looking for a smartwatch. It's simplistic, but what I like about it specifically is that it looks really thin. It doesn't look as thick as some of the other watches out there. I mean, I guess we'll see once we get it in hand, but it kind of looks like a Galaxy Watch, don't get me wrong. The simplicity of it and the circular round design of the display. You've got the button on the side there that should act as a way to, I believe, to control the watch, if not to at least turn it on and off at the very least. And then you can see that it will give you the time. It should give you your heart rate. It should also be able to give us fitness information. I would assume sleep information as well, and notifications, and control your apps, and have Google Assistant. The processor inside, there's been rumors that the processor inside would be a Google-made processor rather than using the Snapdragon variant of this, or obviously you won't use an Exynos variant from Samsung. So overall, you're looking at a watch that's probably going to have great battery life, very useful features, and a very good app selection overall. But when you think about it too, it's going to be competing massively with the Galaxy Watches, because the Galaxy Watches are also going to run Wear OS, so those will have Google Assistant, a very similar software experience overall, and app selection. And then at that point, what is this going to offer versus what the Galaxy Watches offer, and going back and forth. So I think it's going to be very interesting. Release date on this is rumored to be October of 2021, so you're still looking at a ways away, whereas the Galaxy Watch should come out months before this, at least a handful of months, if not maybe 6 months before this. We'll have to wait and see, but that's what they look like. Let me know what you think Pixel Watch, does it look cool? Is it something you're interested in? Let me know in the comments down below. Last story of the day is about the Galaxy Z Fold 3, and I will take any bit of nugget I can because I'm very looking forward and excited for the Galaxy Z Fold 3. Love my Galaxy Z Fold 2. Galaxy Z Fold 3, check out this headline from Sam Mobile. They are reporting that the Samsung has started development of the Galaxy Z Fold 3 firmware. Now, what is that? That is the software that runs on top of your phone. That's the firmware. So you're looking at this should run One UI 3.5. Also, you're looking at this should have at least 256 gigabytes of storage. It should have the Snapdragon 888 or 888 Plus, or maybe something better than that. It should also have no camera on top of the main display at the very least. 120 hertz display on the main display, and reportedly on the front display. S Pen support, so you should be able to use your S Pen on the phone. There's rumors that S Pen will house inside of the phone rather than on a case or completely outside the phone. So there's some nice upgrade. Oh, camera upgrades as well. Where's the camera? Camera's over there. Very exciting phone, and software One UI 3.5 running on top of it. I don't know exactly what a lot of the differences will be versus what we get now. I don't assume a lot, probably just more a couple of cosmetic things, because I feel like the software is pretty mature and pretty well made out at this point. Let's get into the news. We have one story today about a phone that I think a lot of people are going to end up buying just because it's a little mixture of the Galaxy S21 series of phone, budget phone, and everything mixed in between with Samsung's series of phones, and it should be a banger of a phone overall. It's the Galaxy S21 FE, also known as the Galaxy S21 Fan Edition. These are basically pretty much probably 99% of what the phone's going to look like, if not 100%. They're coming from OnLeaks, who has an amazing track record of leaking out phones of what they're going to look like beforehand. Let's take a closer look. The Galaxy S21 FE is gonna likely have a frosted glastic rear panel, meaning a mixture of a feeling of like glass, but really made of plastic. Should have a shiny metal frame. The measurements are 155.7 by 74.5 by 7.9 millimeters, 9.3 millimeters with the rear camera bump. So it'll be a little bit of a camera bump on there. The Galaxy S21 FE is larger than the regular Galaxy S21. It's 4 millimeters taller and 3.3 millimeters wider, but it has the same thickness as the S21. The display overall is going to be a circa 6.4 inch flat display with a single punch hole selfie camera. It will have a triple camera lens set up on the back with a flash. And even though we don't have exact release dates or specs inside, you're looking at a phone that's probably going to release more towards the second half of the year, probably in the maybe late summer or beginning of the fall year. So you should be able to get this phone. And then price wise, you're probably looking at somewhere between, I would guess, $600 and $800. Again, at least for the base version. This is going to be a winner again. I mean, as much as you are going to buy this phone or not going to buy this phone, it's going to be a winner in terms of specs. You're probably going to still get a Snapdragon 888. You're going to get a decent camera. You're probably going to get that 1080p plus 120 hertz display. I mean, what's not to like about this phone? I mean, sure, could you get something that's, you know, a couple hundred, even $100 more that has more than this? Probably. But who wants to spend $100 more, $200 or $300 more to get, you know, some of those features when this has pretty much anything everyone would want? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. New videos every single day. My question out to you guys is, what do you think about the Fan Edition series? They came out with the Note 7 Fan Edition series. They had the, you know, S20. Now they're coming out with the S21 Fan Edition series. Let me know. Do you think this is a good idea for Samsung to be doing something like this kind of mid to upper tier phone? Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day. Hope your weekend was great, and I will see you down the road. Peace.